Grand Rising. So I pray you all have been having a fantastic week. I don't know, but someone's faith needs to be boosted just a little bit. So there are a lot of us that are moving. Rather, it is moving in changing jobs, moving to a new location, moving across the world. We are moving in the next chapter of our life, just moving forward. So I was speaking with someone and I didn't realize that how my faith, anytime you need faith, you're always going to need a little bit more anytime you need to move, right? Because the last faith that you use to get from point A to point B, you're going to need a little bit more to get from point B to point C. And when you need faith like that, you cannot be around people who don't have the same mindset, because you know what? Their fear and their doubt will get on you. Your faith needs to be on 100 when it's time for you to make a really big decision. Rather, it's moving, a job, opportunity, relationship, whatever it is. Your faith needs to be through the roof, and you cannot be around just anybody. So when I was sharing my story, and I was sharing, I'm going to give a quick story, and I'm going to do it quick, right? So when I was moving out of my house in New Jersey, I didn't know where I was moving to. I just knew God needed me to move. And I said, okay, I got to move out of this house. And I said, you know what? I'm going to look for an apartment. But I knew in my spirit I could not sign a lease for 2 years. And I'm like, and I felt it so strongly. So I'm like, okay, I can't be going in a room. Like, God, I'm too old. I'm in my 40s. I'm going to be a roommate? Nah, this is not going to work. So fast forward, it was a Wednesday. The Wednesday before I needed to get out of my apartment, to move out of my house. And a friend called me and she said, hey, my mom is renting a room. And I'm like, oh, God, you got to be kidding me. You're not putting me in a room. This is ridiculous. And I said, you know what? Okay, what? She said, you know what? It's not my mom. It's my mom's friend. And you're going to bug out because guess what her name is? And I'm like, what's her name? She goes, her name is Gloria. When I was younger, I used to hate my name. I was like, oh, I have an old lady's name and this and that, this and that. And it was me and God just laugh and joke where he's like, ha, 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 you're going to be living with Gloria. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then I text her and I say, hey, what's the address? She goes, okay, I'm going to get it for you. Now, this is Wednesday, right? Now, Thursday come, I'm working. Friday comes, no address. I said, you know what? I have a place to go. So I was putting my things in storage in New Jersey. And by the way, she lived in the Bronx. I hate the Bronx. And I'm like, you cannot be taking me back to the Bronx, God. There's no way. I hate it. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. So I get all my things in storage, and it is Saturday. It's Sunday. It's Saturday? I think it's Saturday. I had to be out by Saturday. And no address, by the way. I'm still emptying. I do the walkthrough at about 12 o'clock to return the keys to the owners. So I called one of my friends and I said, you know what? You want to go to City Island? Let's go and celebrate. She said, okay. We go to City Island. We're sitting at the table. We're just like celebrating. And I get a text at 3:30. Here's the address to where you're going to be moving. I get the address. I Google it. And I'm like I know the area, but I didn't know that block. And I'm like, oh, God. All right, fine, whatever. Now, I have my aunt's car. I didn't have a car because my ex took both of the cars. And my aunt goes, you can use my car. And she happens to not have anything to do all day. And I was like, yes, okay. So her car is filled with some of my things. And my daughter's still with me. I got to get her to college. And I'm like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. So I move in, but when she opened the door, it was like this light that I saw. Like she was one of God's angel. That's all I could see was light. And it was just like this peace that came over me. And I'm like, wow, this is so crazy. I need to be here. And when I go into my room, I kid you not, when they say we do not need a lot of things, we really don't. Because in that room, I had everything. I had a console, I had a desk to work, I had a refrigerator, I had a bookshelf, I had a bed, I had another dresser, I had a mirror, I had everything that I needed inside of this room. It was insane. And me and my daughter shared that bed for a couple of months. Then I sent her off to college, and then she got pregnant. And I took her out of college because she was dance major and she couldn't dance anymore. We shared that bed for a year. But in my house, I had so much there was so much peace in my house. When people come over, I can eat off your floor, I can just relax and fall asleep, but there was no peace within. So God needed to do some work inside of me, inside of this little room. So sometimes when we think it's a dark place, it is the place when God starts to prune you and start to pull things out and really begin to work in you and through you. And let me just tell you, when I say, I was just like, you know what? You're not going to put me on the street. There is no way. You are not going to like place me someplace. You're not just going to leave me. You said you would never leave me nor forsake me. So when I say your faith needs to be on 100, do not listen to people. The conversation is between you and God, not you, God. It was not a conference call. And even when I moved to my new place, I didn't answer my phone. Whoever called me, I was like, I can't talk today. I don't need any doubt. I don't need any fear. I need to just know. He got it. I'm moving into my place. I'm moving into my place tonight. I'm putting the application in and I'm getting into my place tonight. So for those who need a little bit more faith, because a lot of things are starting to shift, a lot of us are moving in our careers and our businesses, in relationships, in a new place, or moving to another country. Just know, even if it's the last minute, and I have a laughing joke with my friends, that he will answer you at 11:59 and 58 seconds. And he will answer. He will show up and show out. So continue to stretch your faith. Continue to believe. Do not allow doubt and fear to come in. And if you have people that are around you that don't have the same level of faith, that can speak to you and talk you through it, don't answer your phone. Don't talk about the move. Don't talk about what you're doing. Don't say absolutely nothing, because your faith needs to be up here. And remember, every time you step out on faith, you need a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It does get a tiny bit easier, because then what happens is you remember how you got out of the other situations. And this is not my first time stepping out on faith. And this will not be my last. This won't be your first, and this won't be your last. So I pray that this message bless someone. And I pray that you step out on faith. Rather, it's to leave that job, move to another state, move to another country, leave that relationship, go into that relationship, whatever it is. Step out on faith and trust and believe it is already done. The plans has already been written. You all have a fantastic day.